Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. May refuse to be Jason Morgan's justification. Will Drew lie about Jason's house visit and hope it leads to his arrest in the Cyrus Renaud disquisition? GH suckers know Drew completely rejected Jason's attempt at an armistice and threw him out. It wasn't surprising, since Drew's come such a selfish creep in recent months. The show may stick with that theme and have Drew resort to some deception with a devious thing in mind. Drew has made it given that he wants to take Jason and Sonny Corinthos down, so this would fit right in with his plan. Jason just advised Tracy Quartermaine that Drew was coming for him, so we should consider a bold move Drew might make. Jack Brennan called for the cabin to be gutted up after Jocelyn Jacks killed Cyrus there. Still, Brennan suggested about one exception, and we know Jason will feel cornered during the week of February. It's possible Jason will be set up to take the fall then. Anyhow, Anna Devane will surely have questions about Jason's whereabouts the night Cyrus dissolved. Jason will no doubt mention that he was paying Drew a visit to push for peace. That's when Anna may check with Drew to see if he can back up Jason's claims. We could clearly see Drew averring Jason no way came to his place at all and hoping it's enough to sink his despised family. Indeed, if Drew does admit Jason came to his house, he might argue that Jason had time to kill Cyrus before or after visiting him. Drew might throw some allegations around and act like Jason's visit was part of a cover-up. That said, it'd be more despicable for Drew to just flat-out claim he no way saw Jason that night. Drew might pretend Jason's a fabricator and add to his twins' forthcoming problems. Whatever the case, our prognostications allude that Anna's disquisition could get messy. Still, it could lead to disquieting news for Jason, if new evidence shells that points to Cyrus' demise and Jason's involvement. Jason may have some legal drama in his future, so we'll bring you updates on the extremity that's brewing. Ava Jerome will get an unanticipated caller while Trina Robinson suspects Jocelyn Jacks is holding back. Christina Corinthos Davis will also crave vengeance, so then's what observers can anticipate. At GH, Sonny Corinthos will stop by after getting updates on all the Cyrus Renaud drama. Laura Collins will appreciate it when Sonny pops in and checks on Lucky Spencer's recovery. At some point, Laura will talk to Martin Gray about their family's horrible conduct. Since Martin and Laura wouldn't know Cyrus is departed, they'll fear there could be further trouble with him still on the loose. Next, Dante Falconeri will unmask the rearmost Cyrus news to Alexis Davis, so they'll talk about Cyrus' depraved belief that he was ending the suffering of his victims. Of course, effects were different for Sam McCall and Dex Heller since they got in Cyrus' way. Alexis will bandy everything with Dante and go over any moping questions she has about Cyrus' full docket. Since Cyrus dissolved without a trace, Alexis and Dante may also consider the possibility that Jason Morgan might have made a fatal move against him. That study should cross Anna Devane's mind as well, so Jason might be the person she calls and asks to come down to the PCPD. It's easy to imagine Anna putting Jason through some questioning under the circumstances. Still, GH suckers know Jocelyn is the one who wiped Cyrus off the chart. Jack Brennan covered it up for Jocelyn, but he's counting on her to do her part and keep quiet about it. At Bobby's, Trina will prompt Jocelyn to call Carly Spencer since her mama reached out looking for her. Jocelyn will pretend she lost her phone, but Trina will find it odd when Joss is so quick to give up and buy a new bone. After Trina pushes Jocelyn to tell her what really happened last night, it'll put Joss on the spot. Although Jocelyn will fidget over Trina's questions, she should keep her pledge to Brennan about keeping her mouth shut. As a way of abstracting Trina, Jocelyn will presumably contend she wants to hear further about her Valentine's Day with Kai Taylor. Trina will indeed entrust in Joss as she maybe talks about her growing passions and struggles to make sense of them. Meanwhile, Kai will get rankled up when Quinn badmouths Trina. Since Trina has been such a huge source of support for Kai following his injury, he'll defend her and put Quinn in his place. Other Lois Chirulo will get rattled once Brooke Lynn Quartermaine admits she came clean to Harrison Chase about her teen gestation and the relinquishment that followed. Still, Lois may contend that's a terrible idea. if Brooke Lynn hints about conceivably tracking down her grown child. The last thing Lois wants is for anyone to find out Giovanni Gio Palmieri is Brooke Lynn and Dante's son. Away, Molly Lansing Davis will argue with Christina, who'll garbage to ever trust the legal system again. Still, Christina may hope that he's gone because Jason excluded him, if this discussion involves Cyrus. It was actually Jocelyn rather, but Christina may consider Jason the most likely option and act like he did the world a favor. That said, Christina's beef with the legal system will be further about Ava since she faced no consequences in court. Molly may end up upset that Christina is going to target Ava in some way, especially now that Sonny surrendered to a guardianship agreement. Ava will get an unanticipated caller laterally, so will it be Christina who ambushes her at home? Our prognostications allude that Christina may have many tricks up her sleeve, so stay tuned to see what she might have in store for Ava. Lucky Spencer is teetering on the edge of life and death, leaving Port Charles, and us, holding our breath. A brutal run heft with Cyrus Renault has landed Lucky in critical condition, fitted with digitalis and fighting to survive. Will he pull through to stir up further chaos and eventually give us the long-awaited reunion with Elizabeth Baldwin we've been staying for, or is this the end of the line for the good Nanny's star-crossed partner? What happens coming could actually rewrite the oil whether Lucky lives or checks out for good. Cyrus and Lucky went toe-to-toe in a fight that turned nasty presto. Cyrus plunged a hype into his whoreson, dosing him with digitalis and transferring him crashing. The Croakers at GH are scrabbling to save him, but it's touch and go. Was this Cyrus' twisted vengeance for someone's grudge, or just another power play gone wrong? Either way, Lucky is adhering to life, and the timepiece is ticking. Suckers are scarifying. Will his luck eventually run out, or does he have one further comeback in him? A near-death dread could light a fire under their stewing passions for each other. Imagine him discovering his guts about still loving her, or Elizabeth realizing she can't lose him again. Would this dread serve as fear and anxiety for his formerly sensitive son, Aidan Weber? While everyone would rejoice if Lucky makes it through, no bone would be augmented to see him continue with his threat-taking life. Can't this Joe just settle down formally and stop carrying on his father's heritage? But what if Lucky doesn't make it? Picture the heartache of Elizabeth worsening at his bedside, Aidan losing his pater. Each over again, and Laura Collins shattered by another child's death, commodity she has nearly endured with all of her still surviving children. Lulu Spencer would have to contend with having had only a couple of months with her family before she lost him ever. Lucky's exit could shoot shockwaves through Port Chuck, leaving Elizabeth leaning on Rick Lansing, Laura twisting, and a city mourning a heritage. He offered up the reason behind his digitalis killing spree to Elizabeth Baldwin and answered the question on everyone's mind what his motive was behind the murder of Sam McCall. Still, some suckers caught a major excrescence in his concession. Cyrus made his way to Elizabeth's home during Wednesday's show with the intent to off her the way he killed his other victims. During the entire face-off, he confessed the reason behind his murderous spree, which included why he ended Sam's life. It really started off with the need to end his bastards, Lulu Spencer suffering. As she was locked in a slow state between heaven and earth, Cyrus realized that he'd be doing God's work by barring Lulu's pain. He believed her family keeping her alive was selfish. This was the reason he assassinated other victims who were trapped in these types of conditions. Elizabeth questioned why he boggled Sam. After all, she was healthy and on her way to a successful recovery after her liver transplant surgery. Cyrus noted that it was because Sam came between him and God's godly plan for Lulu. By giving a portion of her liver, Sam was dragging Lulu's life in that coma. Cyrus believed that Sam demanded to face the consequences of her conduct, and he took action. Interestingly enough, it was while talking about Sam's end that Cyrus revealed it was McCall's murder that introduced him to digitalis injections as a way to help his victims easily pass into the afterlife. Still, Sam passed away on Halloween. Meanwhile, Sylvie Mullen, another GH case and senior woman, was mentioned during the December 30th edition of The Cleaner. She passed away failed in August of an unforeseen heart attack, and it was believed that she had digitalis in her system. August 2024 is months before Halloween, so did the GH platoon suffer from a jotting boob? When drafting Cyrus big concession.